Hold up, everybody. Hang on. Let's do something. Let's do something. Here we go. Can I get a... Man.
Oh!
All right, baby. Saturday Night Fever. Tony Manero and Stephanie Mangano. Can I get an amen over here?
Amen over here.
How you doing? All right, everybody. Welcome. I'm your host, DJ. Welcome back to Calling All Beings. It's going to be another Carolyn Clapper Fundraiser. And with me right here is my homegirl from Hawaii, Boston Bia. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, the voice is a little hurt, but you know, she's no less for the wear. And also at the top of your screen, to my left is J-Boogie.
What the heck's going on, everybody? Hell yeah. Yeah, fun to be here. Great to be here. Thank you so much for bringing me on, DJ.
Thank you, Boogie. It's always a pleasure. We're going to see what we can do. Let's say hello to who's in the chat. We have Jules here, right? What's up, Jules? How you doing?
Jules, what's up, man? How you doing?
If you are able and so inclined, please donate to defray the cost of our alternative modalities endeavor for John O'Keefe. Jules, I mean, there's no better way. You know what? Let's give it up for Jules, because you can't say any better than that. Can't say it any better than that. Our alternative modalities endeavor for John O'Keefe. Also, here is Cab Superfan and Super Latina, Super Boricua, Ruthie Robles.
Oh, yeah, Ruthie. Ruthie's great.
Shit. Applause don't stop until I tell you. Thank you.
Especially for Ruthie.
Yeah, there you go. So, especially for Ruthie Robles. So
she's awesome.
Yeah, retweet. Oh, Benny Blanco's here. Hi, Benny Blanco. How are you?
Benny.
Oh, look at that. He knows Ruthie. Is Benny a Boricua? We need to find out. Hi, Benny. Welcome. Bienvenidos.
Benny, my man. Great conversation today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, Super Latina.
Yes,
no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, Super Boricua along with Akashi Chris. DJ in the house, Boston Bea, and J-Boogie and Amy. Yeah, so Amy couldn't. Oh, Benny is a Boricua. All right. Let's give it up for Benny Blanco.
Definitely.
Boston original gangster.
Great guy.
Legit.
Great guy. Had a nice long conversation with him today. Super, super great guy.
Yep. Legit, cool, badass.
Yep.
Welcome. Yes, I've seen your work. Okay, so why are we here? Maybe I should put up a JPEG. What do you think, Bia? Huh? Maybe? She says yes. Bia's voice is compromised, but her spirit is not. So I think everybody should know that.
That's from all the whooping and on the beach, like, yeah, look where I am.
Wait, here goes the JPEG.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, that's not Carolyn Clapper. Okay.
Who's that guy?
Yeah. Okay, it's not that one, not that one. This is another one. Okay. That is J-Boogie Fever. I want to put this up because our friend, this is great work. This was made by our other super Boricua. And right now, B is feeling like it's a little bit too crowded. We need another Cubana in here because we got, muchos Boricuas. But no, all kidding aside, this is Akashi Chris Creators. That is Carolyn Clapper. This is for a fundraiser for the John O'Keefe reading. She proved to me, oh, look who's in the building. So she heard Super Boricua. She said, what? What did you say? There she is, Akashi Chris, Boricua OG. So Benny Blanco, from Boston, meet Akashi Chris.
Hey, Akashi, nice to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, she is one of the sort of cab OGs, was with us when we started the show and has just, been part of so many great moments that made cab. Oh, there it is right there. There's the love right there. And Bia's like, wrong flag color. Good, Bia, do like this. There you go.
Yeah.
Good, do it again.
Oh, man.
Okay.
God, I wish I was where she is right now.
That's right. I know, right? Well, I said she's a black belt in vacations. I mean, this is what Bia does.
Nice.
Yes, she is a black belt in taking vacation.
I'm like a white belt.
Oh, dude, I'm so white belt. I don't even have a stripe on my white belt.
Right, me.
Okay. So this is what we're doing. We're at about 5:45. I finally got PayPal connected to my bank, so I just threw 100 in there today. And we'll throw more hundreds in there because we're gonna have to make up this amount. So Carolyn Clapper, hi Kim P. How are you? Thank you very much. She also is one of the folks who donated to this. So thank you, Kim.
Right on, Kim.
From the UK. How you doing, mate? From the UK.
Hello.
I think you're from Essex, aren't you, love? From Essex. Are you from out near Watton? So, anyway, so Carolyn gave our date of June 17th to somebody else, much to Bia's dismay. But we are going to reattack with her on a date and solidify a date, and that's fine. Or maybe it'll give us a little bit more time to fundraise, but nonetheless, I'm gonna make up the difference if I have to, because we're gonna. Oh, there you go. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's right. Brother and sister is Cuba and Puerto Rico. So,
there you go.
we're going to make up the difference and make it happen. We're not gonna let the opportunity go by when we book a date with her again. So I was a little bit hi Sarah, shock and horror. You're gonna have to tell us because you went to something the other day. I'm trying to remember what you went out and did the other day, but it sounded cool last time we had a show, but let me know. So welcome. Carolyn had something. She was supposed to send me the instructions on how to secure the booking. I would guess that would be some sort of a credit card form or something, or her PayPal or her Venmo or something. I have never received that. But I did get on her calendar. So then, yes, things happen, as Jules said. Yeah, it's not like I'm going to get mad and I'm going to hold it against her. It happened. So at this point, I'm going to have to get communication with her and then rebook a date. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm going to bring up some Carolyn Clapper stuff that we can look at. Boogie, I think that's what you had in mind for today as well. Am I correct? You were like, let's watch some more Carolyn Clapper stuff.
She's great.
Okay.
Definitely got to watch more of her.
Okay, let me see. There was one that I put in my save to watch later stuff, and she on her channel there's a whole bunch of stuff as well. Oh, look at this Afterlife. Oh, this might be interesting.
I just couldn't believe like how on point she was. It's mind-blowing. It's amazing. It's like, wow, she's definitely in touch with something.
It is, it is really freaky. So we're gonna watch some stuff. Talk to us in the comments, but the reason we're doing this, and we do have some Boston OGs here. We have Bia, who's been on this case since quite early on. We have Benny Blanco here, who's also from Boston, as well as Sarah Shock and Horror, and many of you in the chat. Whereas some of us came later. Oh, she was in Newport, Rhode Island for the weekend. Okay. The reason we're doing this is because we don't know what happened to Officer O'Keefe. We assume that we know what happened to Officer O'Keefe, and we feel like the only way we're going to find out is if we hear from Officer O'Keefe. And that's what we want to find out is what happened. And if she can communicate with him, hi, Diane. And we believe and in fact know that she can do this because she has proven empirically that she can do this, then that's what we're after. So let me, okay, this is actually like her show that she has, her new YouTube with this young lady. She had met a skeptic, and it turns out that she connected with this young lady, and they decided to do a YouTube show together. So let's see what we got here.
I'm Kim LaCapria, and you guys know I worked for Snopes. I was a debunker. I was a professional skeptic. And this is Carolyn Clapper. Carolyn is an evidential medium. She's known for working on missing persons cases, medical cases, and general like loved one connection cases. And she's really awesome. And today we're doing part 2 of Afterlife Questions, which the first episode we hit a lot of them, but there were so many that we have ones left over and some new ones.
Thank you guys for giving us ideas for questions also. We really appreciate it. So like we love your feedback.
Yes, and please you can always give us because we're just starting. This is like our 5th episode. So now is a good time to get in early with anything you want us to talk about. Like, we can't guarantee we'll definitely get to it, but now is a really good time to give us ideas things that you want answered and things you want us to talk about, because we're just planning out our next few episodes.
And they're gonna be juicy. They're gonna be good.
They're really cool. We have a lot of interest. We're trying to build up. There's some interesting stuff that we're going to get to a few episodes from now. But all of it's interesting, but there's some stuff that we had to wait to get to. Do you want me to jump into the question?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the biggest, well, it's not the biggest, but one of the biggest leftover questions that we didn't get to last time was about pets and the afterlife. And I know this one gets asked a lot, and there's a lot of information out there. And also we have a lot of pets in our lifetime. So in terms of like pets and animals in the afterlife, like I'm sorry, just with this question, I have an uncle who has had like 18 dogs, and he loves them all throughout his life. And I was like saying to my mom, like, when he gets there, he's going to get like knocked over by like 20 German Shepherds. So is that...
Yes, it absolutely will. So
he would love
animals, it. Yeah. So animals, pets go to the same place that we do. So I love
awesome.
Humans kind of like separate ourselves sometimes because animals are more innocent. It's kind of like children. It's like children go to the same place we do, adults do, and animals, pets go to the same place, even though they're more innocent. They cross the rainbow bridge or whatever, but really they don't really cross the rainbow bridge. I'm sorry. Like, I love the concept and I think it's so cute and I love it. No, but it's so
as long as they're there. Yeah, it's a sweet way to put it, but if they're there, I think that's what people... So every pet
is there. Yeah.
No pets go to the bad place.
Let me tell you a story. So, and it just happened recently. So this is just my life. I won't share somebody else. Well, I will be sharing people's business, but I won't name them. But I lost my dog of 13 years a couple of years ago. Her name was Chloe, and she was she was my heart, and she was my first dog that was like just mine, like not a family dog. She was mine, and it was so hard because she was a Bernese Mountain Dog, and she lived their life expectancy is like 6 years or something. It's so short because they're really big dogs, and it's like the bigger the dog, the shorter the life. It's like the worst. And so she was just a big love dog. And anyway, I knew she was getting ready. I knew she was getting to that point, and I could just feel it, and I could see what was wrong with her. And I took her to the vet, and they confirmed the medical stuff I was getting in my head. And it was really hard, and she had cancer. And anyway, so I had her scheduled for euthanization because her life was becoming increasingly harder. And I just knew. So obviously, like, I can talk to spirit, I can talk to pets as well, and I can communicate with them. And she was my baby, so that made it all the easier. Anyway, so it was a weekend. I had scheduled like on a Friday for the following Monday to have her euthanized. And it was like the hardest, it's so hard.
Been there.
Oh my God.
Been there with the weekend and doing it on Monday.
I scheduled her for, I think, 8:00 or 8:30 or something on Monday morning. And man, it's like that night. So the night before, Sunday night, I was so incredibly sad. I was just like stressing about, I'm like, should I cancel it? You know, like, I don't want to do this appointment. You never want to let anybody go, even though like
Mhm.
I can see spirits and they
Yeah.
never really leave me. Like I still lose their body. And like her, you know, that part of her is so big for me. And
Yeah.
I wasn't ready, but also she gave me 13 beautiful years. And so that night I got her a cheeseburger because she loved cheeseburgers. And I was like, all right, you're getting your cheeseburger tonight. I just had a feeling in my gut. And we laid down and I pet her and she wasn't like labor breathing or anything like that. It wasn't like that. I could just tell. And so we were talking and I was like, I know, just like I'm taking you in the morning and then I just started feeling it and I told my son to come down and I'm like, say goodbye, you know what I mean? Just in case. And it wasn't like she was in distress or I would have taken her to an emergency vet, but I also like didn't want her to stress out like that right before
Yeah.
she left because she was most comfortable here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously. And so I laid with her and put a pillow under her head and all this stuff. And we spent time with her and I don't know, just gave her a whole lot of love. And at like
Yeah.
3:30 in the morning, I woke up and it was quiet. And I was just in here by myself and I sit up and my mom in spirit was standing by my bed and standing next to her was Chloe. And I was like, no,
So it
Yeah.
because
happened.
I knew
Oh wow.
because my mom can
Yeah.
see, so it's like if my mom's soul is there, like with Chloe, I knew Chloe was no longer in her body, and I
Yeah.
lost my freaking mind. I was like, I just remember I screamed like you know, like I
Yeah.
know
That
this
like
is a bit
scream. I
extreme,
know the
but it
scream.
was like she was like a daughter to me, kind of. And I know that's
Yeah.
like crazy to people, but like
No, it's
I
not.
let out like I wailed, I think, for a second. I didn't mean to, but I was just like, and my son came running down. I mean, probably thought I was dying. But anyway, and Chloe was deceased. Like I went down to the bottom of the bed and I was like, Chloe, Chloe. And I was like touching her and like seeing if she was still breathing. But it's like I could see her soul. Like she was staring at me, like smiling.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm
Yeah,
fine. And it's
it never
crazy.
occurred to me. I can't like when you said that, I can't believe all these years that we've been friends. It has never occurred to me. And this feels so obvious that you would see somebody in spirit before you got a notification, you know, in real life, like or in the meat world. And also my daughter's
Yeah.
cat came downstairs, all the way down the stairs because he heard you being upset. And he doesn't usually come down for you.
Oh,
Do you hear him? He's like,
so
oh, meow, meow, meow.
cute.
So he's just kind of hanging out
Yeah.
over here. He wants to give you a
Aw,
hug.
little baby. He's so cute. I love him. I've
We
had so
you
much
know, he's
medical stuff come through about him just on the phone with you. He's
Oh yeah,
so
that's right. Yeah,
cute.
because he is very cute. But also that what you said reminded me of something from and this was not one of the questions we discussed. I'm going off book for a second because you mentioned 3:30 in the morning, but in the last episode that we did, which was the same part one of this, you mentioned an incident at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And there's that whole thing about that being an active hour. Do you know if there's any truth to that? Because you know what I mean, that they say that 3 o'clock is like when spirits are. Is that like
1,000%. Like it's really weird. Okay, so that thing, yeah, that I can confirm. There's a lot of things that I'll probably not confirm with you
yeah?
as
Okay,
you go through questions
Carolyn
because we've had this issue in the past.
Carolyn thinks that when she says things aren't all the same, that's like not an answer. And I keep saying that is an answer. And I think that the examples that she gives are like, so like, I don't think anybody's gonna be mad about that, but it's like interesting because, you know, that's just one of those things that people always say. And like to hear that there's basis to it is cool. I mean, it's, you know,
Well,
I
it's
where I
because
was.
I think there's some comfort when somebody tells you something that you feel has a little bit of authority or knowledge on a
Yeah.
topic, and they tell you something that confirms something that you really want to believe. I think it
Yeah.
feels great, and it's like it's comforting. And I always want to help people, and I always want people to feel better. So it's like, although I want to tell people what they want to hear, I can't.
Okay, so real quick, I just want to break in and for a second, and this happened to me, and I'm going to relay the story. And I realized that Jules, and I realized that Ruthie Robles and Bia and J-Boogie and several of you have heard it. But if there's somebody who's logged on right now that have not heard it, Carolyn can connect to dogs, and she does know things that she couldn't know. My dog Scooby is the first dog that I had as an adult. She was a Maltese. I got her when I was a senior airman, in E4 in the Air Force. So as an adult, it was my first dog, not with my parents. And she broke her leg in the year 2000 because she was blind, and I was riding my motorcycle. I was at a squadron picnic, and it started to drizzle. So I said, I better take Scooby home. So I put her in the backpack, and I left the top 2 open so that she could crawl up. And the reason that she tried to crawl out is because it thundered. And it's Arkansas was where I was stationed. There's a lot of convective activity in the summertime. And it thundered, and she crawled out of the backpack, fell off the bike, and broke her leg. Carolyn Clapper told me, did you have a dog that broke her leg? Was it, I'm seeing a white dog that's telling me that she broke her leg. This was 26 years ago. This was more than a decade before. Well, let me see. This was a decade before I got my first smartphone.
And she had no idea.
She had no idea. She could not have found,
not have known.
Like things she told me about Officer O'Keefe and Karen. She could have, if she did enough internet research, she could have come up with that information, right? She could not have known about Scooby.
Yeah.
Comments.
That's crazy.
Voiceless Boston Bia. And
That's, no, that's amazing that she would know that. I mean, I've had mediums tell me, you know, your brother has your dog after my dog had passed away. So I hear you. And again, they see it. And
well, it speaks to her skill, though, because I think there are people who can claim to be a medium. I don't know if they are a medium, but she could. Now, the second one I'm going to tell you is about a dog I had called Atia. And she said to me, did you have a dog who had a jaw problem? And the tongue stuck out of her mouth like that. And I said, yes, I did. I did have a dog like that.
Wow.
Her name was Atia. And it wasn't a jaw problem. It was her teeth. She only had 2 teeth. So her tongue would just naturally stick out of her mouth. Mm-hmm. Maybe she could have found that on social media, right? If she would have gone far enough back to 2016, maybe. So a decade ago, she could have found that my picture of Atia. She could not have found Scooby because there are no pictures of that dog on social media, and that narrative does not exist on social media.
Well, plus she was pretty much right on the money with the broken leg, correct?
Yes, she broke her leg. Literally, it was on the exact same road outside the back gate of Little Rock Air Force Base. I was probably 2 to 3 miles from my veterinarian. I literally picked the dog up off the road, put her on the gas tank, clenched my knees around her, drove directly to the veterinarian, made a right turn, and boom, she was in surgery within an hour of that happening.
Yeah, I can't stand seeing animals hurt, man.
Can you imagine how bad I felt? I mean,
yeah.
Thank God Scooby lasted from that year until about 2009 or 2010. She passed, and that was the first of my pets that I had. It started, this pet family as adults.
Yeah, I've had a lot of them, a lot of pets, a lot of cats and dogs. And a couple of years ago, I woke up, my dog, we had him like 16, 17 years. I woke up and he wasn't good at all. He was already suffering dementia, walking in circles and stuff. And so I went and I left for work, but I was just like, I can't, today's got to be the day. And I started just bawling. So I pick up the phone and I call work and I said, listen, I got to go do something I don't want to do right now. I said, so I'm going to call in for today. And I went home and yeah, he knew where he was going, and that's, but
Natalie's I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Natalie's
Oh.
saying it would put her in a dark place. So what do you mean by them communicating with the dogs? So tell me what you mean by that, because this was impromptu. This was just me having a phone conversation with Carolyn and Carolyn offering this. I didn't ask her to read me. I didn't ask her for proof, because if I play right now what happened with the Teresa Jones case, that's the proof. And tell me if you guys want to see more of the Q&A. So in the audience, I'd like you to say, and also J-Boogie and Bia, if you want to see more of this Q&A with Carolyn, we can continue there. And I also found another video where a gentleman covers the Teresa Jones case with Carolyn. So let me know in the chat which you prefer.
Yeah, most definitely. The Q&A is good.
Okay. Bia?
The audience can learn more about her and see how talented she is.
Okay. You want to stay with Q&A, and we'll
whatever the audience
the case for a little bit later. Okay.
But I'm down for anything.
I know you're down for Boogie. You're a man who's ready for anything. The guy was an umpire. He was a guardian angel.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had a lot of fun in my life.
You have. We love you on the show. Obviously, you know that.
Oh, you know I love you on the spaces too, man. You guys are the best. Love it. And the audience, great audience.
Oh, sorry, it's not.
I don't know of any.
Sorry,
other
I'm an idiot, and I didn't realize it wasn't on stage.
And that's like what
I thought my mic
so
was,
cool.
or my headphones not
reading
working.
with Carolyn has experienced that.
It's like, are they talking?
And also, like the next question was one of the big ones that we didn't get to, and we were talking about this one earlier, which is and this is one of those ones that's kind of like
this lady does too much
answer,
prefacing. Ask the question.
To know, which is there time on the other side, and is there time related to our time? And I was saying to Carolyn, we were discussing this. I think part of that question is, if I'm widowed young, and this is not just me, a lot of other widows, are they going to have to wait 40 years for me too, or am I just the one waiting? Because on Earth we experience time passing.
So from everything I understand, from just my experience communicating with a lot of people here and a lot of spirits over there, time is not linear. It's completely abstract concept, right? And so time there moves differently. It's kind of like how time for bugs goes really fast and it goes slower for us, right? And then time for whales is much slower than it is for us. So
that makes sense.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but time moves differently for everybody. And for spirit, because they can kind of bounce in time, I guess, like they can access the past and the future and the present. It's like time doesn't really exist in a way. Does that make sense? It's like,
that's what.
Real quickly for the audience, if you can Google or YouTube Lou Elizondo, Lue, Luis Elizondo has a whole dissertation he explains about time and the non-linearity.
Yeah, it's not linear,
time. Right. So I suggest that we use time as a construct to judge age, and it's existential. Trees age, we live, we die, but that universal time is a little bit different in that maybe things are occurring at once and so forth. So I just encourage you, if you're interested in the concept of time, to Google, because Lou explains it quite well.
No, let me say something. It's not that it doesn't exist, it's that all time exists. It's not a lack of time, right? It's not that there is no time, it's that they have access to all time. So when you have that, so I'll say this too. I'm in my meat body still and I'm here, but because I spend so much time with them and over there and like remote viewing, and I locate missing people and stuff, and so I'm like in a different space a lot. Like I'm in a different realm, in a different space a lot. Like I lose time and I lose track of time, and like I'll think something happened 3 days ago and it happened like 2 months ago. I mean, it's crazy.
Like my
Like
booking,
my
for example.
perception
Wild,
of
Just
yeah.
time
kidding.
is really
Tough crowd.
skewed because I'm constantly with them. So it's
Yeah.
almost like I've lost time in this lifetime, Kim. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like
I can
since
no,
I
I can see
became
that.
right since my NDE, it's like I have lost it. I don't know. It's like I lose big chunks of time just because I'm like if I'm working a lot, for instance. Like
And on
if
top
I
of
have a lot
that,
of clients or something, yeah.
yeah, because you're spending a lot of time there, but also on top of that, people like just when people are talking on social media, there's a lot of discussion about how after 2020, our perception of time broke. So I feel like it's just probably worse for you because everybody's kind of dealing with, I don't know exactly what caused it. And I don't know if you guys noticed this in the comments, like you can mention it, but people have said that time passes differently, that they don't feel it passing the same way. So it's
That's
just, I
so
think that a lot of people,
interesting. I have never
it's
heard
weird.
anyone say that.
It makes sense to me though, because most people or a majority of people perhaps had specific routines that got completely, because I work.
Hey, Boogie, would you mind singing Time Passages from Al Stewart, please?
I don't think I know that one.
Time Passages. I'll play it
from
later
home so that didn't happen to
Yeah.
just so
me.
we can get
Like if you went
demonetized.
to work in like where I live, if you went to work in Manhattan every day, it's an hour on the train each way. And
Oh,
you
she's
begin
from
at
New
6,
York.
you get home at 7.
She might be from
and
where I'm
then
from.
that's gone. And that meticulous hourly keeping of the day disappears. And then how do you find it again? I think that
That
might
is
be what
so
happens.
true. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I lose time too, because I spend so
Yeah.
much time at home. Like I used
Yeah,
to
no, I think
travel
that
a
is a
lot
fact.
and do a lot of stuff, and like now I'm
Yeah.
such a
So us,
homebody that kind
we
of
were
every
talking
day
about
blends
that.
together a little bit.
You guys, we're trying
It's
to get
weird.
out of the house more. We are both trying to get out of the house more,
Well,
and
we're actually
eventually,
going
yeah,
to.
yeah, we're
We're
going
gonna
to.
do some really
Carolyn
fun
has
stuff
seen it.
together with you guys. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna team up. Oh my God, and I can't wait to come to New York and like hang out.
Yeah, I know, me
And
too.
and look at all those places that I saw in my head that came through your reading, like that
Yeah.
island.
Oh
Girl,
yeah,
I cannot wait. Oh my God.
No,
We won't even tell them what we're gonna get into. We're gonna get into some
yeah.
like crazy stuff later, and it's gonna be
You're gonna have to keep
so
tuning in if you want to
fun.
find it. Yes.
You
Yeah,
think
like
that
and
was
subscribe, y'all.
agoraphobic as little as I leave
Punch
the
that
house?
button.
Smack it.
Well, you about to go back to work, so you're gonna get your ass out of the house.
We watched a lot of videos to research. I'm trying to also see where we were on the list because, like, I color coded our
Boogie
list.
got a new hip, so he's
for
finally
ease, and then I completely forgot what all the color
Such a
coding meant. But I
nerd.
Shiny
remember,
new hip.
That's hot.
I was like, is it common to not know that you're?
Okay. Huh. All right,
Sorry.
so no, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so you're asking really broad questions. I've read for
I
like
know.
hundreds of people.
Yeah.
But honestly, I've never, out of all the people I've ever read for you guys, including missing people, and so nobody's confused about where they are. I mean, missing people lead me to their bodies.
Yeah.
So what
Okay,
does that
yeah.
tell you? Are they confused about where they are? No. And
Yeah, I
like,
mean that's. Sorry.
no, they're not like confused. Like, oh my God, am I still alive? Like, I was confused when I came back here after I had meningitis and I was seeing dead people everywhere. Like that confused me because I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, am I here? But like, no. I mean, like it's they're aware. They're aware. In fact, I've had people come through like literally, I'm thinking of one person specifically. His name's Roby. But anyway, he's my friend's stepdad. And he passed and like immediately came through to me. And he was one of the fastest like communicators. Like I just remember him like I didn't know him, right? I didn't know him, and I just
Like
started
dress.
talking with my friend Lizzie, and we'll pull her on. She can tell the story actually sometime. She'll tell it better than I do, I'm sure. But yeah, like right after he passed, I was on the phone with her, and he was just immediately there. So she hadn't told me how he passed or what happened or whatever, and he just went straight into it. He literally, it's like he fell, and then bam, he's like, "Let's go." But that's who he was in
Wow.
life. He was like, he would have never missed 1 second of his children's or his wife's life. Like he would have never missed a beat. So he immediately was right there, and she was in his office at his house, and he's like, "You know, you're not supposed to smoke in my office." I was on the phone, right? And he was describing his office and he had her open up the drawer in his desk. He's like, "You're sitting at my desk, open up the drawer to the right, da 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 da, da, pull out this and that." We'll have her on and explain it. If I'm
Yeah,
sure
that'd be
Lizzie will
cool.
come on. She is so beautiful and so I love her. I love her so much. But anyways, she would probably be happy to come on, as well as her sister, who unfortunately lost her beautiful daughter. I read for her, just a couple of hours after she passed tragically. And nobody, the person, I mean, her, Lizzie didn't know how, like, what had happened. They know not to tell me anything. I had never met her as well. Her name's Amber. And right after she passed, like, immediately, I was bringing through information from her. So, from my experience, there isn't this like waiting period.
Yeah.
There's not a delay in like when I can communicate with them.
Okay,
Um,
wait. Can I highlight this just because this wasn't a question, but it is important. Many mediums, it is very common, and I see this all the time. They say that people need to wait 6 months to a year to have a reading, and they have various reasons for that. But technically, it's never been a barrier for you, I would assume, because, and the reason why I'm saying I would assume is because when I first contacted Carolyn, she read for me 7 weeks after my husband died.
That
So
was
you
a
know what
real
I mean? That
close-up
wasn't six
shot,
months, it wasn't
wasn't
even,
it?
but there's no like, okay. So
should
one
you
of the
give them a
questions,
clue like
well, no, I'm going to. It's like
H?
one of the questions.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay,
H,
okay.
we're mentioning his name is because
We could call him
the
Hitman.
background, yeah.
Oh, Hitman. Okay, anyway.
Well, the background for this
No,
question
that makes
too,
him
and the
sound too
reason,
cool. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I know but it's okay. He was
He's not cool.
I was, yeah, he explained to her why I called it that, and the reason why is because in the beginning when I was interacting with people and in groups and stuff like that, some people would say, on the other side, it's, all love and light, or there's no punishment or anything like those things, whatever. And then immediately somebody would say, what about the H guy? Because he's like the worst example of, an unaliver in our recent memory. And I know, and that's an argument that's a rhetorical thing, to always reduce it to him because he's the worst example. But when we talked about consequences last time, just basically like if you hurt people on earth and nothing, and you never see any, you never restore, what's the word, you never make up for it, you never make it
Right.
right, you never make those people whole, you
Yeah,
just
what
create
happens to
suffering,
them?
and then you go on to there. And then we were talking about consequences for that. And
Real quick, Natalie. Yeah, I can give you all the information if you don't have it. I believe. Hi, Suzanne. Welcome.
Suzanne.
Bienvenidos. There is Next World Medium. Is her. If you just Google that, it will come up. Next World Medium, or Carolyn Clapper on Facebook. So yeah, but if you need assistance, Jules has it. We will hook you up. But yeah, Carolyn is wonderful.
We got the
True.
hookup.
Yep.
Don't you worry.
Yeah, she's gonna read Boogie, man.
Oh no. Oh no.
we're not talking about punishment. We're talking about like natural consequences. So then Carolyn was saying, yes, there are. And then one of our friends like pointed out like, well, what kind of consequence? So like, what would that look like type of thing?
I don't know exactly what that
Yeah.
looks like. What I do know is like I've had people come through to me that had a life that they have regrets about. Now, what I mean by that is like, okay, I have an example, right? So this wouldn't be like some evil person, okay? So maybe, I mean, you're talking about H-Man, who's like really
Yeah, but just
evil.
no, I call it that question because people always jump to him. But we're just talking about kind of maybe the person who denied every insurance
Oh,
claim.
no, wait. Shh, I got an example. I have a couple examples. First off, if people don't lead the life that they feel very proud about, like if they hurt somebody, harm somebody. Okay, so I had a boss a while ago, like when I first came out of meningitis and stuff. So I had a boss and she I was working at a family Christian bookstore. So it's like they weren't very like excited about having somebody who's a medium in there working, right? Like, and I wasn't trying to be a medium. I kept getting slammed by spirit. But anyway, she found out because I kept talking to like customers. Like I would approach them and then they'd end up crying and hugging me and we'd be like over in an aisle, like talking for
We
like
can't
20
have that.
minutes. And they're like, she's like, why is everybody else crying with you? And I'm like, and hugging you. And I'm like, I don't know. And like, so I eventually had to tell her, I just like came out
Aw.
to her and I was like, I'm sorry, like this is happening and I don't know what to do about it. it was just like really scary. I didn't want to get fired, and it was
Yeah.
I needed the money as a single mom. But anyway,
Yeah.
my whole point in the story is that
What happened?
like
I don't hear anybody.
she was curious though,
What
and she
happened
was
here?
like, well,
You know,
she
can you hear
didn't
me?
ask for like, I mean, she like laughed just her dad. I was
We
like,
can
I'm gonna
hear
get
it all.
fired. Like, you're gonna get me
That's
fired.
strange.
And I kept
You
saying
got
to
me?
him, please go away. Like, you're gonna
Can
get me
anybody-
fired. I need this
Can
money.
anybody hear me?
I cannot survive
Yes.
Yes,
on no
we can
money
hear
with
you.
a child.
This is
Yes.
serious, but
Mhm.
Hear
it's
ya.
also very for the people watching, and because for me, like I'm the audience avatar, it's just kind of funny to imagine you
Hello?
have to argue
Yeah.
with spirits all the time. You know what I mean? Like
It
that's
was
just
like
a funny
really
thing.
bad in the beginning though, Kim. Like
I know,
seriously,
I'm
like
sorry.
horrible. No, it's okay. I
'Cause
was
you
like
need to talk.
really going through it, and it was really, really scary.
Okay,
because
nobody on
And it was all at
stage can
once.
hear me.
It's not like you
Boogie,
I,
went
Dia.
up into the
Yeah, I can hear
zillion.
you,
It was
bro.
like
I'm-
from 0 to
I don't think he
zillion.
can hear me,
it
Yes.
folks.
wasn't like zero because I saw dead people.
No, I
Let
know
him know
you
he
I'm
were
gonna
can.
have to
definitely.
leave and come back
So
because I
like,
can't
but
hear
it
anything.
did amplify everything like 100 folds for sure. I mean, it was
little technical difficulty. He shall return. Hang in there. In the meantime, what's everybody up to? Bye, all time for bed. Kim's going to bed. I guess it's real late over there, right? It's about 11, almost 12 o'clock in the UK.
Good night, Kim.
And let's see, there's Natalie. Yeah, if you guys don't know who Carolyn Clapper is, definitely do yourselves a favor and check her out. She's really cool, man. And I'm the biggest skeptic in the whole wide world. Talking about, hey, what's
Yeah.
going on, Nan? Nan hanging out with us. Yeah, when I saw that video of her, I was just like, wow, because it takes a lot for me. You know what I mean? Because I was watching, like the John Edwards guy, and he'd have this big studio audience, and he would just like, okay, I'm getting an R feeling over on the left side over here. Just, and he would just like throw out generalizations until someone like, grabbed a hold of it, and was like, oh, I think that's me, and he would go over and then of course you always think, oh, are there studio plants, so I'm a big skeptic. It really takes a lot for me. But then with Carolyn Clapper and that video where she actually, they located the missing lady, that was, phenomenal. I was like, wow, that's incredible. And then, from there on, I was just like, I got to go watch some more videos. I was just addicted to it. And that's always like how I've been, when I get interested in something, I'll go and just deep dive it, How's your vacation out there?
Good, good. But I too went to see a medium who also told me a lot of what she's saying is resonating with me because they also told me spirit doesn't have time of past, present, or future.
Right.
So everything she's saying is very consistent. So I definitely get the same vibes as I was told when I was read a while back.
How long ago was that reading?
I went, let me see, my mom
Remember?
passed away. Yeah, I went end of 24.
24, huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I've never been in front of a medium. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that medium was able to piece together. My cousins had gone the week before, and of course, I didn't tell her I was related to them. She said my brother had shown up then and asked if I knew these two girls because it was the same spirit and as the one that she was talking to, and it was my brother that had come through.
So do you
So
feel like she connected? She really
did.
Connected? Right on.
She did because she was able to tell me my little cousins were asked me if I knew these two girls because they had gotten a reading the week before.
Wow. Yeah. Like I
So
said, I was always the biggest skeptic. And then, on this one, I think there's something, most definitely there. Hey, there's DJ. He's back with us.
Can you hear us? Uh-oh.
Okay, I don't think he is.
I can hear him. I can hear him
Okay.
typing.
Can you hear all right there,
What's
DJ?
going on here?
Don't you just love it,
I
folks,
can't
when
hear
there's
you
so much
guys, so
technical
no
difficulty
good.
on YouTube?
Yeah, but I can't hear you, so it doesn't matter. All right. I would like, since you guys can hear me, I would like the team, Boogie and Bia, to continue the conversation while I try to troubleshoot and see if I can get back in the conversation. Otherwise, they will be hosting the rest of the show. So there you have it. We need to buy.
I picked a great.
Sarah said
I
we need to
picked a
buy the
great
Geek
day.
Squad. Yes.
I picked a
It's
great
shock
time
and
to
horror.
lose my
Thank
voice.
you. Also, we got another donation. I believe it was from
Awesome.
Suzanne.
Suzanne,
So thank
right
you very
on.
much, Suzanne.
Suzanne, thank you. That's awesome. We're going to get this Carolyn Clapper on. She's going to be great too. It's just trying to nail down a date. That's just been the issue. And she's in, she's in demand. She's all over the place on YouTube and stuff. So people like her. And
okay.
Gosh, man, I
feel
horrible that he can't get that.
Things we can do.
It could be probably something with his, maybe his headset or his headset, maybe perhaps. But you can hear me all right there, right, Bia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So while he gets that worked out, we'll go on, and we have a lot of here out in Vegas. We have a lot of mediums, and I just never wanted, I kind of feared it. You know what I mean? Like, I was just afraid, if that was something I should be doing, because I was, growing up as a Christian person, I was just kind of leery about that. And then, but the more I opened my mind to, what's going on in the world, and, I'm less leery about that, because I do believe that, if they didn't want us talking to them, we wouldn't have a way to communicate with them,
Right.
So
That's very true. And I too also, I'm not, according to my religion, I'm also not supposed to believe either, but I do, because there's certain things that happen to you and experiences that they just, how would they know?
right.
Like, I remember one telling me, after one of my dogs passed away, she told me, your brother has your dog. How would she have known that my dog passed away?
Yeah.
So it's,
I've watched a lot of NDE stuff, near death experience stuff on YouTube, and hundreds of these videos, and it just kind of woke me up to, more, that there is something out there, and that we do continue, and we don't just go away,
exactly.
and it feels good to know that, because now we don't have to fear anything, just live your life, and
Yeah.
without fear, of what's going to happen, because we're all going to continue. But what's crazy is the time thing, how it's not linear, how it all is at the same time.
Right.
It's so weird to think about how that works. What do we got?
Well, because they're spirits. They're not following the same as we are. We're time driven people, but
Yeah.
our spirits are just living the eternal life. So there is no time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. In a lot of these near-death experiences, one thing I've come to realize is they're all different.
Right.
They're all different. Each one has their own experience. And, I root for them too when they pass on, because what I mean is, 'cause they're always told that they got to come back. Obviously, it's why it's a near-death experience,
Right.
and it's like, can you imagine getting over there? And they always describe how much love, like the love and the, how just awesome it is, and the unconditional love. But then they're told, you're all there. You're like, okay, all right, we did it. We lived it, and here we are. And they're like, no, you got to go back. I'd be like, what?
I want to
What?
stay.
You know, and they always want to, you know, of course they all want to stay. There was one guy though, he was like, yeah, no, I want to go back. And, you know, he wanted to be with his wife. And they were like, yeah, well, you're going back anyway, you know, pretty much. But he was like the only one I saw. Everyone else was like, no, 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 I'm not. They fought. Some were even talking about how they argue. You imagine arguing with God, you know, like, no, no, you're going back. It's like, no, I
Right.
am not going back. And then, but then when they do come back, the thing that they describe like is how heavy, you know, the heaviness like of the body, you
Right.
know, like, and also like being pushed back in and then form fitting, like, you know, putting that glove back on, that meat glove,
Right.
you know, and then the heaviness. I couldn't imagine, because when you're over there, you're flying all over the place, I guess, you know, you know.
Yeah, when it's not your time, it's not your time, you know?
And then they come, you know, yeah, they got to come back and, you know, keep going, you know, being with your family again. That would be good. But once you're over there, man, you know, I hear so many great things about it, you know, so. But I'm not trying to speed things up. You know, right now we got
Right.
things to take care of right here. You know, I get.
Exactly.
But they always were told that they have a purpose, you know, and so that got me thinking, well, what's my purpose, you know? And maybe that's something that, you know, we all need to ask, you know, ask God, what's our purpose, you know? And I'm sure it'll be known. One I saw was like, you know, your purpose, you're already on it, you know, you're already on the right path for it. And
Right.
but yeah, I always wondered what mine is, you know.
Yeah,
And
but I also believe that there's different purposes, right? I mean, look at some
sure.
doctors that are performing miracles, and then, you know, and then there's Joe Schmo working at Burger King, living a happy life, serving others. So I think, you know, I think it's the purpose is what you make of it, and
There you
you know,
go. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's and it could be, you know, something you don't really know about, but you'll find out later. You know, like you don't really know each individual person that you interact with. That could be your purpose. You know, was to, you know, they needed to be taught this particular lesson, or maybe you needed to be taught this particular lesson from this person. You
right,
know, and so um, and that wound up flourishing into something great. You know. Still doesn't,
right.
you know, it doesn't mean you're going to disappear the next day because you fulfilled your purpose. Just to, you know, but that maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's not just one purpose. Maybe it's multiple purposes. You
Right.
know, I understand that we don't cross each other's paths accidentally. So, you know, what do you guys think about that in the chat there? Do we?
I also don't think things happen. I think things happen for a reason, and
Yeah,
sometimes we don't understand them at the moment, but yeah,
yeah,
sometimes it's a bigger lesson to be learned.
yeah. You come back later, you know, thinking about that incident, and you're like, oh wait, you know, because yeah, things will come together for you. I can't tell you how many times that's happened for me. Hawaii, wow, that's nice. You know, I went to Maui. I was there for like 11 days, and it was like I gotta get out of
Oh,
here, man. It was
nice.
like that. It was on
Yeah.
the island. I was like, I was like, I gotta get
Yeah.
out of this water. There's so much water around.
Did you, go to the road to Hana?
No, but got up to Haleakala and
Oh,
went to Lahaina and got to check that out. And there was a guy
nice.
there. There was a guy there, and he had, I guess, been every day for years, like 20, 30 years or something. He'd stand on the corner in front of like in the town square in Lahaina, and he would just shout Bible verses. And real interesting guy. And I've had people in Vegas go, oh, I don't know that guy, and whip out pictures and show a picture of that guy. I'm like, oh yeah,
Wow.
that's him. But yeah, Lahaina's cool. Oh man, it was nice. I don't know what it, you know, after all of that happened in Maui.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
pretty I was like,
And
wow.
Yeah, they're thinking it's a conspiracy
Mhm.
because it was the power lines and there's certain areas that it didn't go past. So we got a
Yeah.
tour of all of that
Wow.
where it's like from one street to another, they're rebuilding and the other ones was untouched. But there happened to be somebody that really wanted the land. So they
Yeah.
think there's some funny business going on.
God, I hope not, man. That was so tragic.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
otherwise, yeah. So, where you're on the Big Island or?
So today I'm on the Big Island. I'm in Kona. I was in Hilo yesterday, and tomorrow is Kauai.
Oh, island hopping. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love cruising. It's the best. So you get to see more and you don't have to worry about hotels. You know, the hotel's coming with you. So,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
so
it's been a
I do
while, man.
like it. Yeah,
What's going on, chat? What do we got going on? Yeah. I lived in
exactly
Oahu.
why I have no voice.
Yeah. I lived in Oahu for 6 months when I was 19. That's my not so humble brag for today. Wonder what's going on with DJ. I hope he's getting that
I
figured out.
know. I haven't, he hasn't texted me. I was just checking.
What else we got? If I had control of the StreamYard, I could pull up some videos and stuff.
Let's see. Natalie said I was going to say what happened to Via's voice. I know. I don't know where it went. I woke up like this.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. You wake up, you're like, oh man, of all days, I need to talk.
Seriously. Seriously.
Just got to roll with it, man. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Come back to you. Little warm tea or a Mai Tai.
I know. I got a spritzer right here.
Nice.
Let's see. Yeah, he's still. Oh my God.
A little.
No, I don't smoke. That's funny. Natalie.
Oh, my dog.
No. He's like, I got a voice. I'll show you.
She said, I thought you were smoking Camels all day. No, that's just me. All right, what do we got on Twitter? How about Scott last night, man? That guy is so awesome with his
I just
weapons.
finished it. I met him at the Just En Route Memorial. And
there he is.
I met him and his wife. Hi.
You did.
Get
so.
her. Man.
Amen.
Yes.
High.
He came in like a wrecking ball.
Yes.
Give me like a wrecking ball.
I wanna give you guys something that you're gonna love. So let me bring on, because there's been so much Puerto Rico. We got to get some Cuba in here, right, Bia? Right, Bia? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, but you didn't answer me when I said right, Bia. So that didn't let me know that you were here. Okay, here we go. Your cousin, Lou Elizondo.
Not just grandma in the backyard shooting a camera and see some lights back there. This is my trained observer flying multi-million-dollar weapon platform systems, sometimes over U.S. cities. I mean, we trust to fight and win the wars on our behalf. And they're telling you they're seeing something. They're seeing something that they don't know what it is. And we have to pay attention, which is backed up by electro-optical data, which is backed up by the radar data, which is backed up by, more and more and more layers. At some point, you have to look and say, there's an old saying we have: if you see it once, it's an anomaly. If you see it twice, it could be a coincidence. If you see it 3 times, you're probably looking at a trend, right? And so that's what we're seeing. We tried to find those commonalities and bin those in what we do.
He's like, yeah, that's my Cuban brother making sense. That's
right.
right,
helped us really on collecting the data pieces that are very important, or the pieces of data that we don't have yet.
The 5 observables: positive lift or anti-gravity, the ability to fly, without the apparent means of propulsion or lift.
If you want to defy the effects of Earth's gravitational force, the way to do it is with either a propeller to mechanically displace air, jet engine to compress air, or a chemical explosion like you would have in a rocket. Yet here are things that are able to seemingly effortlessly defy Earth's gravitational force and maneuver in ways that are complete contrary to anything that we would presume should be able to fly.
Sudden, instantaneous acceleration. The ability for a craft to reach a high rate of speed in a short amount of time.
We're seeing objects that are doing 50, 100, 200 plus G-forces. Materials just aren't designed to withstand those forces.
Hypersonic velocity. Craft's ability to reach speeds over 3,700 miles per hour, 5 times the speed of sound.
As an object is traveling in a three-dimensional space, the faster it goes, the more forces are placed upon it. And yet, here's an object that's doing well in advance of those speeds. And I don't mean just 3,000 or 4,000 miles an hour, potentially 8, 9, 10,000 miles an hour.
Low observability. A craft's ability to conceal itself from any kind of radar.
You're looking at an object that you should be able to detect very clearly, and yet when you look at it with the naked eye, it's opaque and kind of blurry, not well defined, not really sure what I'm looking at. Other times it looks like it's jamming. Some of the best radar systems that we have in our inventory.
Transmedium travel. A craft's ability to seamlessly move through space, air, and water.
Everything we build is purpose specific for its environment. A plane looks like a plane, has wings, has engines, has a rudder, has a nose.
It's an F-35, it's an F-15.
An object that can operate just as easily in atmosphere, in space.
Yeah, they fly over my house all day.
Oh yeah, you know.
Its design characteristics. What type of technology could allow that? Any one of these, mind you, would be an absolute game changer for any foreign adversary to have. Just one of them, it would be a game changer. And yet, here we have things doing all 5.
So there you go. There's Cousin Lou. I was trying to get where he talks about the space-time continuum, and I was unsuccessful in finding that, but I thought he explains it like a cigar. So yeah, we're not going to talk about Khabib Nurmagomedov. So anyway, so we can go back to Carolyn, but I didn't want to keep people too long. We've been an hour.
Wait, I'm having a blast. We can't
Okay.
end.
Yeah, let me see if there's anything more in that Carolyn Clapper business that we can get after. Let me see.
Love hanging out with all you guys.
We love hanging with you too, man. You're such a nice person.
Oh,
What really happened on the other side?
do you guys think the Air Force bases are aware of UFO and alien life more than us?
Do I think? Are you asking me?
Natalie's asking that in
Natalie.
the chat. Yeah, question. Do you guys think the Air Force bases are aware of UFO? Yeah.
Yes. But not that if you were to call public affairs, you wouldn't get that answer. But yes.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Let me see. Let me get to my history here so I can find that. Yes, they're aware. The government is aware. Videos are coming out. So it is. Yes, it's quite well known at this point. But the question is how to disclose it in a way that doesn't completely off balance people. That's what they're trying not to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of soft disclosure, into getting ready for that big moment where they're finally just going to be like, look, here they are.
Yeah, people like Boston Bia.
And so then she
Right,
was
Bia?
like asking questions.
I wonder how I'm
like,
gonna
like, how
handle
does this
that.
work? And
Like,
like,
what?
it's like she was angry at me for having, but she also was
Yeah.
curious. And then she's like, well, so do I have anybody with me? And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad you asked. And I'm like, because your dad came to me when you were gone. And she's like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, real quickly.
And I knew it, but I was.
I'll make you an example, Natalie, because you're a fan of the show and, we want to discuss these things. If I told you, what would happen if the earth stopped spinning? You know, are you concerned that we're going to move 100 miles too close to the sun from where we sit now, and then we're going to burn up? Like, if I ask you that, you know, are you worried about that? Are you worried about a meteor striking Earth that could seriously damage Earth, that could kill millions of people, that could maybe knock Earth off of its orbit if it were big enough? So you would probably say to me that you're not worried about that. And the reason that you would say that is you would say because you can't control these outcomes. You know, you can't control whether or not a meteor is going to hit Earth. You can't control our proximity to the sun. The things that you can control is how you interact with the environment and how that may affect things like the ozone layer that protect us against ultraviolets and things like that. So you worry about things that you can control. As far as non-human intelligences visiting Earth, this is not new. This is what I told. There are people in our community, people that Bia knows very, very well in the Boston, Karen Reed, Massachusetts true crime community that called me during the drone flap and said, "Oh my God, DJ," you know, and it's understandable because it's off-putting, it's off-balancing, it's concerning. So they asked me my thoughts, and I said, this is not new. Since time immemorial, correct. There have been non-human entities visiting Earth for if not thousands or 10,000s of years. Yes. Yeah, I guess Shock and Horror called me also. I wasn't going to name any of the people that called me. But the point is that they have been visiting, and we can't worry about what they're going to do. Julie speaks about this all the time. Julie says, you know, what you can control is your intentions. None of us are perfect. None of us are angels. None of us every time have the best of intentions and the best of thoughts about everyone. But for the most part, everybody that comes to CAB that I've interacted with is putting out positive vibes in the universe. The individual who we blocked earlier, notwithstanding, who I guess thinks that Bia shouldn't try to find out what happened to Officer O'Keefe, because that's a terrible thing to do. Bia, you shouldn't wonder what happened to Officer O'Keefe, because we're getting so many answers.
Yeah, right? I guess so.
Yeah, man, you are terrible. You're wondering what happened. Because the fact of the matter is, and I'm going to transition over to true crime now, is I've said this for a long time, is that when you have individuals like Mike Proctor and you have individuals like these other defendants, and people said, oh, I wonder if he's going to crack and tell what happened. And the fact of the matter is, no, he's not. Ever. And nor will any of those folks. And there's one, I know, shame, Bia. There's a simple reason why, is that when somebody, if somebody is not charged with a crime, if they are not arrested, charged, threatened with imprisonment, they're not going to talk. You would be an idiot if you're Proctor or any one of these defendants, down to Sarah Levinson. Nobody should talk. Because if you did, you're a moron. You don't talk until you're threatened with something, you're charged with something, and then you use what you know as a bargaining chip to lessen your exposure to some sort of a jail sentence, be it a short sentence or a long sentence. So this is why none of those people who are involved in this cover-up, from the random Canton police officer who participated, who maybe used a backpack blower to blow away evidence like a moron, who knew it was the wrong thing to do. He knew he was doing the wrong thing. He knew it violated police procedure. He knew in some respects he's violating the law, as do those MSP troopers and other Canton PD officers, even, God rest his soul, the late Ken Berkowitz. God rest his soul, I say again. The point is that none of those people are going to talk because they haven't been charged with a crime. Therefore, the only way we're going to find out what happened, unless or until one of them is charged with a crime and sings like a canary. There you go. Do a canary noise there, Boogie.
Oh.
Until one of them is charged with a crime, then the only way we're going to find out what happened to Officer O'Keefe is, God willing, that Carolyn takes our money and that she can speak with Officer O'Keefe. And it's clear that she can do that. It's clear that she has this ability.
Yeah, I'm totally excited. I know that, you know, not everybody agrees with everybody about everything, you know, and in this case, though, we're all excited for it. So, you know, that's what's really important. I want to know what happened. You know,
I want to know what happened from Officer O'Keefe, and he's the only one that's going to tell the truth. Either that, or they're going to try to corroborate if they arrested several persons. I do not personally, and myself and my co-hosts here are at, you know, we disagree on this. I don't see anybody getting arrested. It's been too long. Nothing's happened.
right?
Criminal trials are over. Now civil trials are going to start. I could be wrong. And I hope, you know, there are times when you hope you're right and there's times you hope you're wrong. I pray that she's right and I'm wrong, because if she's right, then someone gets arrested and then they're going to start to talk. Unless you have maybe like a, you know, there maybe is, I can think of one defendant who, oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Right there. And there goes Nan Gallagher, and she happens to be a legal expert. And I'll try to call you after, Nan, since we weren't able to connect.
And let's not forget, you know, we still want justice for John. You know,
so
we still want justice for John O'Keefe.
We do, but the thing is if, okay, so if what Nan says is true, then the only justice is going to come in the afterlife.
Right.
I'm holding hope for the feds.
Well, you just saw it right here.
I know.
I mean, it does not look like that's going to happen,
right?
Because it has to be in something actionable that they have, that they know that they could get a conviction on. And I hope I'm wrong. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to try to make my case here because I want to be wrong. Right. I don't want to be right, because obviously I want somebody that was involved in this. And I had a big Twitter battle with this young lady today about this, where I said, you know, all these things don't make sense. I mean, I could, you know, with what she was saying, I could just go point by point. Let's go with Chloe. Okay. Man on the lawn with dog bites on his arm. Okay. You tell me, in what universe, in what country, in what state do the police not go and take a battering ram to a door of someone's home that has a dead or an unresponsive police officer on the lawn? It just doesn't happen in this universe. And then, so what I was trying to say to this individual who was trying to battle with me on Twitter about this is that, okay, dog is not there. So is it a coincidence? Guy in the lawn has dog bites on his arm. No dog is heard when first responders arrive. Dog is then rehomed after 7 years. So you tell me what doesn't sound suspicious about that. I'm listening.
Yeah, and really, you know, how they didn't interview everybody in that house that morning, like right then and there, like pull everybody out. Hey, come here, you know, or however you.
Well, nobody was there, but at that point, but yes, but even whomever occupied the home,
right?
That would have. I'm not going to name names here. We're not trying to get sued, but we know who was in the home. A husband and a wife were in the home, and perhaps one of the sons was in the home that morning, not the rest of them. But yes, what Boogie's alluding to is everyone should have been hauled down to a trooper barracks and put in a separate interview room. That did not happen. I'm not supposed to be suspicious about that. Oh, because a girlfriend hit him. Yeah, you don't know that yet, do you? Where's the dog? Dog bites on the arm. Dog is now not heard. Dog is then rehomed. Somebody tell me, just by point number one, why that is not suspicious. Anybody.
And no tail light at 5 in the morning when there was only a dusting.
And then In what universe does a police agency bring a backpack blower to a crime scene and start a fucking backpack blower and blow away evidence?
That's normal.
What could that be? I don't know. Could you be blowing away footprints in the snow, Boogie?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's normal.
Yeah.
That's
Could it be
incredible.
like there's footprints around a body? Is that possible? Drag marks?
And
Maybe.
the cups, you know, the solo cups. I mean,
Well, not the solo cups, but no kidding. If you're going to put a body there, there has to be footprints to place the body there. How did it get there?
yeah, you're certainly not going to know by blowing a leaf blower.
Yes,
over the
right. And if there was taillight pieces, they'd be spread across Fairview Road.
And then
Or-
you go across the street to get Solo cups in a Stop and Shop bag to hold evidence
There you go.
from somebody who could have taken control of the scene.
Oh,
Kelleher.
and the scene was left. You tell me where a police officer is found unresponsive and people drive away from the scene like nothing happened. Only when the police are involved in it. Who would not have crime scene tape and have a 24-hour guard there?
Oh yeah, that whole street would have been on lockdown.
Suspicious? I don't know. What happens when, is it coincidental that a court order is set to come to preserve one's phone, and wouldn't you know it, two people who were in the house that night disposed of their phones on the same day, and one in a very bizarre, mechanical, and I say mechanical, snip and maniacal manner. And I'm not supposed to be suspicious about that. I'm just some dummy and supposed to go, oh yeah, that seems normal. Yeah, that's what I would do. Is it a coincidence that all of a sudden, oh my God, look at that. A court order showed up to preserve my phone. Man, I just got rid of it. Damn it.
What?
Jeez. Yeah, can you believe it?
You guys wouldn't believe this, man, but I just tossed it yesterday.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Sorry
Oh, the
about
luck.
that.
Oh, the luck.
Whoops.
Would have never met. Yeah. Would never thought of that.
I have never thrown a cell phone away in my life. I still have every one I've ever owned.
Yeah. And two, oh, here's from, and oh, look
I'm
at
not
this.
saying
And
everybody does that. but-
those two discarded phones were Leo's. Oh, I mean, they wouldn't know anything about preserving evidence at a military base, Otis Air Force Base. Oh, I wonder who had. So, I mean, I always go to a base
Right.
to dispose of my phone. And when I do, I remove the SIM card and I just, you'll be surprised. Every one of my cars has a wire cutters in it. I carry a wire cutters everywhere I go. It's like,
well, just in case you got to cut up a SIM card.
oh, it's like carrying my water bottle. You know what I mean? I go to the gym, I have my water bottle and I have a set of wire cutters. Doesn't everyone have that in their car? Surely
Perfectly
they do.
normal.
Yeah, totally normal.
And at the end of the day, the only one who acted actually normal was Karen Reed. Real
Right.
emotions.
Ding, ding, ding.
Didn't get rid of her cell phone, handed her cell phone without a court order in her car. That's the one that was crying, trying to help is the only one that acted normal in this whole situation.
And she said that right on the steps of the courthouse that day. She said, I was the only one trying to help him that morning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And what's funny is the individual who was trying to debate me on Twitter was asserting like one of the other House defendants was performing CPR. I'm like, are you from like fucking planet Pluto? Like, where are you from? Okay, here's another thing. It's very interesting. Nan, I'd like you to speak to this. I use cutter to cut up my for that.
She's witty.
Yeah, man, you
witty.
need that like the snips, like the aluminum snips,
She always
like
has
that
the
you would
best comeback.
cut out aluminum. Very well done. Okay, so here's the thing. What I'm asking here is that, and I want Nan to weigh in on this. If the rule 14, if the rules, and forgive me, I'm not going to quote law here. I'm not an attorney. That's Nan's job. If somebody is required to forensically preserve evidence, then that means that evidence is to be unaltered and original. So if the MSP goes and orders $11,000 of redaction software for Colleen Crawford, that would indicate, and what resulted in the Sallyport video being altered. How is that not suspicious? Why do we not see an end to end? I thought they said that it was motion activated. What do you need redaction software if it's motion activated? Why do we not see an end-to-end video of that Sallyport from when her car came in to when it left? Is it because we're not going to see someone from CPD with a Phillips head screwdriver popping off the plastic in the interior of the car, unscrewing the tail light, unplugging the little cannon plug so that it can be removed from the exterior of the vehicle, and then, I don't know, yep, with a set of like gloves on. So, Nan, were they supposed? Okay, that is correct. Okay. The alteration of evidence and failure to preserve it in its raw format violates the court rules and court order. So those of you who haven't heard me scream in a while, it's because I haven't talked about the Karen Reed case. Notice when I talk UFOs, I'm laughing and having fun. But when I talk about the Karen Reed case, I start screaming. So
because the nonsense is crazy.
It is. It's just it just defies all logic. And somebody on Twitter is trying to make me believe this today. I was about to say, tell me what size shell went into Chloe's head. Was it a 40 cal? Is it a 9 mil? Is it a 45 ACP? What kind of shell went in that dog's head, Boogie?
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. Rehoming right away. Who does that? I mean,
well, nobody rehomes a dog they've had for 7 years.
Right.
It's a pretty good bet that by the time you've reached 7 years, you have a pretty good familial relationship with the dog. However, a dog with a history of biting people and an officer found unresponsive on the lawn with bite marks, and that dog can't hear it on the morning of 1 February, January 31st. That could be a reason why.
And any good detective that morning would have seen the bites or whatever they, because it's clear. Come on, man. For anyone who looks at that, those are dog bites. All right, let's not kid ourselves. And as any good detective would have been like, I want to see this dog. This looks, like it could be from an animal or whatever. Just anyways, you should still have secured that scene way better than they did. It was just chaotic.
Or even have an officer go with John O'Keefe to the hospital to see if there was a dying declaration.
There you go.
I could argue with you, but though I will counter your point, Boogie, to say that they are good detectives. And the reason why is because their goal was not the same as what your goal is. Your goal is to find out what happened in the crime and to figure out who the guilty party is. That was not their goal. Their goal was to frame Karen Reed, and I would say they were quite successful in doing so, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
So then we don't know that they're bad detectives. They're good detectives that knew what evidence not to gather. So that is an example of a very smart detective. If I gather this evidence, it could exculpate the person we don't want to exculpate. And it could implicate the people that we want exculpated. Therefore, if we don't gather this evidence, or if we take, I don't know, maybe a backpack blower, we could blow some evidence away, then we can make it so ambiguous that they cannot be inculpated. And therefore, Karen, they thought they had enough to get Karen with the tail light, but it didn't work.
Right. And also in Proctor's text messages, you could clearly see, I mean, anyone with common sense, when he was asked, if the person's going to be, charged, anyone in the home's going to, and it was like, he right away was like, nope, Boston cop, like, no, I'm not even going to bother with it. And we already know who our suspect is.
Exactly.
And that was just within a couple hours.
Absolutely. Well, it's because Jen McCabe called Brian Tully in 9 something in the morning and said, oh, I just remembered. I heard her say, I hit him. And because fate is such a cruel mistress. She backed into John's vehicle, cracking the taillight and giving them the crime. And she knows that. I'm sure every day she wakes up and thinks, if I didn't back up another freaking inch and tap his car, I wouldn't have given them a way to blame me for the crime. And it's awful because they didn't have the dents. They didn't do the dents, but they did do the taillight. It was not sloppy, Diane, and at least, or Natalie. And I'm saying it's not sloppy because it depends on what your goal is. Sloppy is I tried to do a good job and I did a crappy job. That's sloppy. What they tried to do, they succeeded in. They tried to not gather evidence so to make it so opaque, so ambiguous that they could pin it on Karen by virtue of presenting the taillight. So they did a great job of that, an excellent job. In my mind, they didn't do a good enough job to convict her because there were so many data points that people just don't believe. What do you mean you got rid of your and then you sold the hat? You had the basement redone?
Oh, the butt.
Why did you get the basement redone and you retired and sold your house? Everybody who retires wants to. Everybody on planet Earth that's of similar means to myself and Brian Albert wants to retire with a paid off home so that you don't have to make a mortgage payment every month. Brian had that. Nobody sells their home, their childhood home that they bought because they wanted to live there. That's why he bought it. He didn't buy it so that he could go, oh, I'm retired now. I'm making $100,000 less a year. Let me go buy a new house. People don't do that.
Right.
There's
Or
only
sell
idiots
it
like
under-
me to take on a mortgage at 58. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, or sell it below market value. You're usually trying to get every last penny you can for your home when you're selling it.
Yeah, you're not like running out the door like the Flintstones if we had that sound effect.
Right. Give it 25% off.
Yeah.
Like it's a yard sale.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think. What do we have here?
And what gets me is how
just right here.
how adamant the other side is that she's guilty. It's crazy.
They're not adamant. They are trying to fool themselves and then you.
So.
Remember, America is a place where you don't have to know the truth. You have to convince yourself. You have to make yourself believe what you want to believe. Not what's true, what you want to believe. It doesn't matter what the evidence is.
Right.
Any idiot could look at this evidence. Anybody with a 34 IQ could look at this evidence and go, oh my God, they framed this girl. But people are going to make, for partisanship, just like politics, they're going to make themselves believe, damn it, whatever I want to believe. Because I want to believe it, and that's what I'm going to do. And
there's no way you could look at the totality of everything and come away thinking that this girl is guilty. That's just the way I look at it. I don't know. Everything was just, oh God. It's just amazing how, it was all just done, But there's no way you could look at the totality and think that she was guilty, in my opinion.
Sarah, my law degree is from Dateline University, and I knew shit stunk from the beginning. Her sense of humor is just out of control. Dennis is just here. Dennis, you've been missing me rant. The old DJ's back, yelling, screaming about the McAlberts.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's just, this is the only thing that gets me charged up. There is... I can't think of, there's no organic evidence that exists in this case that makes sense. Michael Easter, if you guys go, it might have been when he was on Justice Served or one of these other programs, because I believe Michael Easter has been on their program a couple of times, but I may have heard him on another program, and he tore apart. He said, okay. And I said, I actually used some, I have to cite Michael Easter in APA format. Because I cited him I didn't cite him today, but I used his analogy on Twitter. Okay, so Brian Higgins, you say that you went there in the middle of the night because there's a snowstorm and you wanted to repark your car. However, you swiped in at this time, you swiped out at that time. So it wasn't very simple. It looked like you moved one vehicle from over here to over there. And we don't see any middle of the night swipes from you in the last 36 months. So why was it on that night that you had these swipes in and out and you're milling around, and then you can be seen the day after that you're milling around the Sally Port around this woman's vehicle? So what are you doing there? Because this doesn't comport with your activity at CPD. Then you could say something like, okay, I'm finding phone calls to you after this alleged event occurs at 2:30 in the morning, and I don't have another phone call on your record, multiple phone calls answered to this defendant after 11 o'clock at night ever. And I'm making this up because for all I know, maybe he calls and he whispers sweet nothings to the other Brian all the time. For all I know, he's like, oh, you're so cute. Who knows? But I'm going to bet that if they have those phone records and they find that, that is what Mike Leister's going to bring up.
Oof.
So how do you answer that? This behavior is quite out of character. You have a beef with this guy because we have this text messages right here where it seems like you're asking him to fight. We have this video in the bar where you're going like this and you're pointing across the bar, and it looks like there's another gentleman trying to hold you back from him. He's over there doing the Ali shuffle. Then you're saying, you come in here.
You coming here?
Come in here. We all know what this means in a bar. When you point your finger at a guy, Boogie, what does that mean?
That's right. Yeah. Anyone
what does
that's
that
been
mean?
in an altercation in that situation, you know what that means.
No, but I want you to tell the audience what it means.
Means you want to, you want to fight? Meet me outside,
Is there anything else that could mean?
Not the way it was,
Yeah.
in my opinion, the way it was, the way he was doing that. No way. You know what that means. You know what I mean? When someone's doing that to you, it's like, oh, okay, it's a challenge.
That means, do you want to fight? That's what that means. When you're doing this in the bar and you're pointing at a guy and someone has their hands on your chest holding you back and you're trying to get around them, that is universal for, do you want to fight? That's what that means. Right. Those texts back that up. Then he's going to say, Officer Higgins or Agent Higgins, you had 6 unanswered messages to Karen Reed while you're at the bar. Can you explain that? Because now we have, you kissed her. Now we have O'Keefe and you at the bar. Now we have you pointing at him. Now we have you testing him. Does he want to come to the party? Now we have him coming to the party. And then we have him found unresponsive on the lawn. So help me out here to unlock this door. What's going on here? What do we got here?
And then all the butt dials are in the course of the night. Come on, man.
And like, yes, why are you what kind of dude is calling another dude who's going to bed with his wife at 2 o'clock in the morning? What dude that you've been partying? Hey, I haven't seen you in 30 minutes. How you doing, babe? Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Hold on, honey. I'm talking to Brian. Damn.
Right? Like, what are we doing here? I'm
talking to Higgy.
Yeah. Dude.
And Higgins could have been her knight in shining armor the next day, and instead he didn't respond. He could have showed up, gave her a shoulder to cry on, because ultimately he was interested in Karen Reed. So he could have been there for her. Could have.
That was suspicious too. Yeah. Like normally you're gonna be like, you're like, oh man, I'm so sorry about what happened.
I'm so sorry about John.
I don't think anyone's giving that one too much thought.
Yeah,
he could have. He had the opportunity to sweep in.
And be that knight in shining armor.
Yeah, their actions afterwards. Yeah.
And by the way, Dennis, if you would say hello to Richie the Duck King. We discovered last night that Scott SK27 maybe has the same accent as Richie the Duck King. My man, Richie Schiffer. Okay. Right? I told him that. So
cool.
yes, they're right, Natalie, Diana. It is Occam's razor, which means the simplest answer is probably true. And they're right. The simplest answer is they framed him. So yes, AFKR is correct. They're right. They just don't know that they're right. The simplest answer is all their guilty actions lead to guilt. Karen Reed's innocent actions lead to innocence. Simplest answer is they framed her. That's why they didn't gather evidence. That's why a fucking family friend is the lead investigator. Like, in what world does that happen? That a family friend is the lead investigator. Oh, I might as well investigate the murder of my mom.
And wasn't the judge, wasn't Judge Bev like Chris Albert's attorney or something at one point?
Judge Bev's brother. Good.
Oh, there you go.
Judge Bev's brother was the attorney for Chris Albert.
What's his name? John Prescott? I think his name was John
Seems
Prescott.
to me like that should have been enough for recusal right there.
Oh, well, Judge Bev is Mike Moore. Judge Bev's mom and Mike Morrissey's mom were lunch ladies for 25 years. It's a long time. If you got a couple bucks to share with the cabbies for this fund, we're still working. We lost our 17 June date with Karen Clapper. She's very, very highly engaged. But if you can donate $2, $3, we will be absolutely delighted. We want to hire you. We're going to, thank you and thank you, Boogie, for donating your time, and thank Nathan for letting you be here. And she's like, he didn't have any choice.
You're more than welcome.
But we are $550 some odd dollars. I'll check Cash App while we're on the phone. Talk amongst yourself.
Yeah, totally excited, man, to get Carolyn on.
Yeah,
I wonder if what kind of things she's gonna say as far as like if she's gonna be doing any kind of other individual readings on the guests. I really would be curious to know. That's interesting stuff.
for sure.
You guys keep talking. I'm looking at the phone to try to get the amount, but it looks like we're doing good.
At the comments here.
Okay. So 91. Now check PayPal. PayPal. Hey, give me a payment there, pal. How you doing? Okay, so let's see. We're doing good.
PayPal.
Hey,
Massachusetts family generates. Go.
Okay, we are at. Oh, guess what? We busted 600, folks. We're at 645. 645. So,
not too far away.
Not too far away. Yeah. I threw 100 in there today, so I'm part of it. But still,
we see the goal.
We're getting close, and once we get a little close, I'm just gonna make up the rest. Boogie knows from casinos. Hey, pal, I'll take you in the back and smash your freaking fingers. You never play poker again. Shut your freaking pie hole. Okay.
Yeah, they don't take kindly to stealing, man.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking?
Don't be counting cards.
What I wanted to do, Boogie, is to get Carolyn to see if she could preview one of your games and see if a manager is going to charge you at home plate, like one side or the other, or while you're umpiring. So that's kind of like what I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we can see one, like, Carolyn,
I've had them come at me pretty aggressively.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see if she can predict.
They get their cap right in your face too, man. They'll spit on you. They got like piddle in your mouth. You're like, oh, come on, coach. And you'll turn around and walk away. They'll just follow you, keep screaming at you. They got to get it off their chest.
Yes. Natalie, the Cash App is $ calling all beings. It's going across the screen. And the PayPal is at calling all beings. So, but Cash App is $ calling all beings. Thank you very much. I want to thank, there's a person here named Sarah Shockenhara. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
There you
And
go.
Dennis just sent a message too, saying he sent a
Yay! Dennis,
Dennis,
you've
thank
already
you.
Janice, you've already donated. You can't donate again. So I appreciate it. He kicked us off. I think Dennis was like our first donation. Thank you very much. Let's see what ADK says. Massachusetts family generations go back 100+ years. So that means this is a legit OG, Holmes. Legit.
There's a lot of history there.
Do I have a Venmo? I do have a Venmo. I think. Let's see. I gotta take off my glasses, so I gotta take the bloody camera off, mate. You're right with you.
Yeah, I've had some pretty interesting interactions with coaches on the field, and some coaches, though, like we know, who they are. The ones that there's some coaches you just don't want to interact with, and you get assigned a game, and you're just like, he's not gonna let this, he's not gonna let the strike zone go. He's gonna every pitch up and down, he's gonna.
But we like that. Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but when you were a ball player, you don't want your manager to just roll.
No,
right?
no, you got to stick up for your players. Yeah.
So,
But,
Natalie
they're
Diana,
not allowed to argue balls and strikes. So,
Natalie Diana, I know that's true. You got to know balls and strikes and be honest with the umpires. I will message you on Twitter because the Venmo is my personal, and if I put it here, it's kind of like my name. I pretty much think most people kind of know my full name because I'm fairly public, but I will message you on Twitter with that. And thank you very much for offering to do that. We're getting quite close. And there you go. So it's already been given. Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. There's my name out there. The new one, I thank you very much, Dennis. I've made a new one for the show that is at Calling All Beings. It's a business account as opposed to my personal, but nonetheless, I'll take it and thank you. I'm not a very secretive private person, but on Venmo, it's at DJ_San Marco, I believe, right? What is it? Yeah. Oh, it's DJ-San Marco. DJ-San Marco. So yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm a public person. I'm not a private person. Thank you very much. Very much. Oh, is that a point? I hope that's not a punch in my face. I'm just kidding. I know. Dennis, I hope I'll see you in October. I'm going to use my New York accent, but man, we got to get Dennis and Richie Schiffer on. Richie Schiffer is a cad. He really is. Oh, look at this. Bia, if you can take the helicopter ride over the volcanoes, please. Dennis wants to see it, man. He wants to see you like flying over where Neil Armstrong was doing those geological samples in advance of Apollo 11. That's you,
crazy, man.
Very, very much. Yes. Thank you.
Hasn't seen a volcano go off. Wow, like right there, that'd be crazy.
Oh my God, it'd be scary, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's how Mount Vesuvius covered Pompeii and killed it, and people are mummified there.
Right.
Imagine if we see Boston Bia like this with her shirt covered with volcanic
They have
ash.
some pretty interesting mummifications too.
It is.
I don't know
The
if you know what
flowers
I'm
still
talking
there,
about.
covered with ash.
They had some. No, there was a guy that was. Yeah, he was having fun with himself, man.
Okay, I got it. So you're saying
this guy got caught being mummified like that? Awesome.
He's immortalized in Pompeian ash.
Yeah, that's how you've been immortalized.
Yeah. And Matt, it's okay, Sarah. It's no big deal, man. Okay. And the Mount St. Helens too. Remember that? What was it like? 1980 or something? Mount Pinatubo did serious damage in the Philippines. So, yeah. Let's see. Love you guys. I cash out. No, that's all good. Ruthie, man, it's first of all, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Boogie. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, love you, Ruthie. I was just throwing that in there.
That was dope, yo. Thank you, Holmes. All right. We've been going for an hour and 45, man. We got to get kicked out. I did. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate Dennis even will come and say hi when we're doing UFOs or Bigfoot. He's very, very supportive of Cab. He's a multi-talented individual, and I miss talking to him. I like to call him like every couple of weeks and just say hello and see how he's doing, what's going on. Dennis is it's kind of like, how do you describe Dennis, Bia, as somebody that's in the movement?
He's genuine and he cares. He's a great man. Him and Brenda are just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it like when I went and got to go to my first standout and meet Dennis in person, and it was just, yeah, like he's such a genuine guy. He's exactly what you see. He has this kind of moxie that he just keeps going. He's not going to quit on what he believes in and what he stands for. And that is why when people talk about the movement, and he's going to tell you what Dennis is going to say is, oh, there's a lot of people that are doing this, that are doing what I'm doing. I'm not the only one. That's what he's going to tell you. But the first name that people say when they talk about this is Dennis, or the Sweeneys. That's what you hear. So really amazing people. And I remember, taking a walk over to the Tavern on the Square to talk with the staff there. And Dennis and I were similarly dissuaded from ever doing business with them after speaking with them. But it was just cool just to, spend a few moments with them. So I'm really looking forward to coming to Massachusetts, either August, if we can work it out for August, for a shorter thing, and then for a whole weekend in October for Dean College, my alma mater, to go for homecoming. So those things will happen, so.
And it's going to be a good time.
Gonna be a good time. Yeah, what should we, I guess we should go out with some music, right? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let me see what we got to do here.
All about music, man.
What are we not going to get copyright stricken for?
Yeah. Pretty much everything.
Oh, man. I wanted to play that Doobie Brothers groove, but I don't know how you guys feel about that. It keeps you running. Is that something?
Oh, yeah. It keeps you running.
Yeah.
Yeah. It keeps you running. It keeps you running.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's it. That's the jam right there, baby.
You don't know me, but I'm your bro.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah,
Michael McDonald.
All right, let's see.
There you go. Just have Boogie sing and you won't get copyrighted.
I really love this, and this is not owned by the Doobie Brothers. This is somebody else. Do you see this right here where it says Doobie Brothers? Then that means that they own it. So let's do this.
You're not sharing.
I'm not? Oh.
No.
Taking it to the streets.
Okay.
No more people. Thank you, 80K.
Yeah, you're getting love right there, man.
It's nice to get love.
Say where you gonna go? Girl, where you gonna hide?
Jules knows what's up, man.
You go on leaving out your heart, and all the sand deep inside. I could feel your heartbeat.
You running, yeah.
You got me all wrong. Yeah, no. You ain't got no worry. You've been lonely too long. Yeah, no.
What a voice.
Incredible.
I'm not putting me too high. From a long time ago.
Oh, darling, it keeps you running.
Don't sing over Michael McDonald. What's wrong with you, Boogie?
I am Michael McDonald. You just don't know it.
I know how you feel. Girl, you know I've been there. Yes, I have.
Natalie has a crush on Michael McDonald.
But what you keep
Right on, Nat.
to yourself, girl, you know it's not fair. No, it ain't right. Are you gonna work
Yeah, you're still getting compliments here. You seen this?
for the rest of
Thank
your
you.
life? Yeah, no. Why you in such a hurry to be lonely one more night? Yeah, no, darling. I know what it means to hide your heart from a long time ago. Oh, darling, it keeps you running. It keeps you running. Keeps you running. It keeps you running. Oh, no. Yeah, it keeps you running. There's nowhere you can run. It keeps you running. Yeah, it keeps you running. Oh, no.
All right,
Doobie Brothers.
Michael McDonald. It's the audio that we're able to give you through StreamYard is, and the quality of that video is not quite there to give it to you. But I heard their reaction videos on YouTube. Kid the other day is just like, I'm going to church right now. He's like, this is just, you got to kind of listen to it quite loud. Anyway. I think that's it for tonight. A long time ago. Nice, Julie. She's singing along with it. It keeps you running, and it keeps you running, keeps you running. Great stuff. Man, you guys made a great show tonight. It's really difficult. I'm going to be frank with the audience. I don't enjoy fundraising. I don't enjoy asking people for money for any reason. And the only reason we're doing it is to achieve this goal. And you guys have come through wonderfully. We greatly appreciate this. Boogie, thank you for lending your talents to this effort. Boston Bia from vacation in Hawaii.
Thanks for having me on.
It's our pleasure. And I can't wait till we can all get together again with Bia and Amy and maybe even some of the other cabbies. We'll see what we got coming up. That the booking of shows is not an easy thing to do. It when you guys see it, it's like, oh, somebody's on, and okay, we're cool, we're watching a show. But booking guests is not an easy thing to do. As you guys have seen, people that just talk crap on their YouTube, they just talk crap about people. It doesn't really take anything to do that, but it does take a lot to book guests, come up with questions, and strategize how you're going to stimulate them intellectually and how we're going to stimulate the audience, and figure out what would be interesting about this person to talk about. So we're working on it. We have a couple of things in the hopper. Hopefully we're going to have Lieutenant Colonel John Blitch, and I guess we could kind of preview that now, and we'll let you know who she is, because I'm not even sure that Bia knows who Colonel Blitch is. Let's see if I can find where. Oh, I don't know if I. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is what we're working on for early June, end of the first week of June. This Delta Force operator, Lieutenant Colonel John Blitch. Colonel Blitch was obviously a Delta Force operator. He was a professor at the Air Force Academy. He's obviously has a PhD, hence the name doctor, and he's also a UFO experiencer. He experienced some missing time here in Colorado while he was on a bike ride, and then he became involved with a project that Jake Barber was working on, where they have figured out how to summon UFO craft in, how to communicate with them. And believe it or not, that some of these craft are piloted with your mind and your consciousness, not with physical controls. Colonel Blitch became involved with after meeting Jake Barber, because he was hired by News Nation, the news outlet, to ascertain if Jake Barber and his cohorts were real special operators. Well, who would you hire to do that more than a Delta Force guy? So, so he verified that, yes, Jake Barber and his guys, Fred Baker, are legitimate tier 1 level and actual tier 1 special operators. And so therefore, Courtney has contacted him. He agreed to be on the show. The date is in question. So we're shooting for the end of the first week in June, the first Saturday in June. But we should have Colonel Blitch on to talk about psionics, which is psionics is the communication with these entities that are non-human, and calling these craft in, including getting them to land. And so that's what this is about.
Oh, wow. To get them to land.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And to pilot these craft, the similar process is used to pilot these craft. And I encourage you to watch the latest interview, American Alchemy, hosted by Jesse Michaels and Jake Barber. It'll freak you out.
Okay.
It freaked me out, and I know you know that, Boogie, and it it freaked me out, because there's stuff in there that I could not believe is true, but I have to. I'm forced to confront this.
Yeah, we may all be forced to confront some aliens here soon.
Okay, so here you go. So helicopters flying towards a mountain range. There's a couple of these. There's one of these in I think Sedona is one, and there perhaps is one in Utah. Helicopters flying directly at a piece of terrain, chased by FA-18s, and the terrain opens up and they fly in.
What?
Yeah, that's what they're talking about, Julie. And if you have any of the links, you can throw it in the chat. American Alchemy, Jesse Michaels. I mean, let me see if I can grab YouTube. If you guys can just give me a second, I'll grab the YouTube. And it, like, it's a lot.
Sure.
Man.
Hosting ain't easy, man.
No, I don't mean me. I mean what he's saying is a lot. I'm done bitching
I'm
about
doing 3 different things at once, you man.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm done bitching about being a YouTube host. This is stuff that's really freaky, man.
Yeah.
Really freaky. Let me see what Jesse's got here. Okay. Here it is. I think this is it right here.
This looks like a fun channel.
Yeah, American Alchemy, Jesse Michaels.
Subscribe. Yeah, he's got truth about alien abductions. Frederick Silence Inside.
For Ruthie Robles. Love you too. There it is right there. There's a lot of stuff that's revealed in there that just they keep broadening what we need to kind of deal with, but it is what it is, right? Like we have to deal with it.
The giant in Afghanistan story. That's a good one.
What's that?
Oh, the giant in Afghanistan story. That's a great one.
Oh yeah, I recently heard that.
That one.
Yeah, that guy was interviewed. That the thing with the pilot. Yeah, it blows my friggin' mind, man. I just can't. All right, guys. Thank you very much, mods, Captain Jerry, Ruthie, Jules. Thank you, Boogie, Bia. And we will see you all soon. I don't know if we're going to have a show Saturday night. I got to try to arrange something, but we'll see. I don't want to push the other cabbies too hard. So but we do have some things in the works, but got to bring it together, kind of like a cake mix. All right.
All right.
Love
right
you guys.
on, everybody, man. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much,
having me,
April.
DJ. Thank you, Bia. Have fun over there in Hawaii, Bia.
It's an honor.
You.
Thank you, guys.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you guys later.